Bobbie Thompson here from Crochet Guru, and welcome back to lesson number 6 on my Learn How to Crochet series. Now in this lesson I'm going to show you how to single crochet, and we're also going to start our very first project as well. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is that single crochet is abbreviated SC. So when you look at a pattern and you see the letters SC, you will now know how to single crochet, and you will understand what the pattern is asking as well. Okay, so in the last lesson I had you chain 30, so if you haven't already done that, go ahead and do so now, because we're going to need that chain 30 for this lesson. And the other fun thing about this lesson is that we're going to start our very first project, which will be a dishcloth. Okay, so starting out with your chain 30, I'm going to go ahead and insert my hook into that very last chain. So the first thing I really want you to know is that there are actually 3 strands of yarn in each chain. And this can actually become confusing when you place your first single crochet. So I'm going to actually show you where all of these strands are located. So the first strand is located on the very top. And this is the strand that you'll most likely be using when starting your work. So the second strand is going to be right in the middle. So I'm going to demonstrate that, and sometimes you actually do use the second strand. It just depends on what the pattern calls for. And then the last strand, or the third strand, is on the very bottom. So when you push your hook through the last strand, you'll have 2 strands of yarn on your hook, which will be the top and the middle strand. Okay, so I hope that helps. But mostly what we'll be using, and mostly what you will always be using, is the very top strand when placing any kind of stitch or any kind of work into your chain. So I'm going to just show you that top strand one more time. Now when placing your first single crochet in the chain, you always place it in the second chain from the hook. Not the chain on the hook, not the first chain from the hook, but the second chain from the hook. So go ahead and insert that hook into the second chain from your hook. And now I'll do our first single crochet. So yarn over from underneath. Never go on the top. Go ahead and yarn over from underneath the yarn and pull it through that first strand. Now you'll have 2 loops on your hook. So you have your first loop and then your second loop. And then go ahead and yarn over again and pull through both loops that are on your hook, and there you have your first single crochet. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our second single crochet, and that will be in your second chain from this first single crochet. So insert your hook into that first strand, yarn over, pull through the first strand on your chain. There'll be 2 loops on your hook, yarn over again, and pull through both loops, and that will be your second single crochet. And then again in the third chain, insert the hook, yarn over. There will be 2 loops on your hook, yarn over again, and then pull through both loops on your hook, and that will be your third single crochet. And then just continue this pattern all the way down your chain until you're finished single crocheting on this chain. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and turn the video off and meet you back here when I'm almost through with my chain. Okay, now I'm going to place my last single crochet. Don't place it in the knot, but make sure that you place it in your last chain. So push the hook through, yarn over, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and there's your last single crochet. Now this is what it should look like when you're all through. So the one thing that you'll notice when you're all done with your work is that there's going to be 2 strands of yarn on top of each single crochet. So make sure that you have the 2. There's actually one more located in the back, but we're just going to concern ourselves with just the 2. So also what's important is that we count each of our single crochets and make sure that we have all of our single crochets in place. Now you don't want to count the bottom ridge on the very bottom there, but you do want to start at that first single crochet on the top, and that will have 2 loops. Okay, so 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, and what you want to do is just continue down, making sure that you have all of your single crochets in place. Now when you count, you'll actually only get 29. And the reason for this is because we actually skipped that first chain, if you'll remember correctly. So we're actually only going to be working 29 single crochets for our dishcloth that we're going to be making. Okay, So this is what it's going to be looking like. And what you want to do to start your second row is go ahead and chain 1. Now after you chain 1, you're going to want to go ahead and turn your work around. Okay, so when you place your first single crochet in your second row, make sure that you don't place the first single crochet in your chain. So right there is your chain. You don't want to place that first single crochet in your chain, but you do want to place that single crochet in those 2 strands that are connected to that first single crochet. So yarn over, pull through that first single crochet. You'll have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over again, pull through both loops on the hook, and there's your first single crochet on your second row. Okay, so I'm just going to show you this process one more time, and I'm going to slow down the track and just let you watch at your own pace. Okay, so here we are on our third row. Go ahead and place your last single crochet in your last single crochet from the first row. So 2 loops on your hook, pull through, and there's your last single crochet. Now go ahead and chain 1, and we'll start our next row. And the reason we actually chain is because we're meeting the height of the next row that's going to be worked. So on a single crochet, you just chain 1. So go ahead and just continue to work this third row. And what I'm going to do is we're going to move on to lesson number 7. And in lesson number 7, we're going to learn how to change color. So that way when you make this dishcloth, you'll have more than one color in this dishcloth. So again, just move on to lesson number 7, and we'll be learning how to change colors in our crochet work. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day today.